Last but not least, we need to start thinking about our boundary conditions when we're working in our analytical model in Revit Structure. What you want to do is put the boundary conditions on the analytical footings and not on the foundation walls. So I'm in the top of footing analytical plan in the project browser there, and what I'm going to do is select one of the foundation walls, like so. Now that's the actual physical wall, not the analytical wall. So if I now right click, and what I'll do, I'll go to hide in view and by category. That'll hide them all. So now all I've got is the analytical walls in place, like so. Now what I want to do here is make sure that I'm setting this correctly. So in the view control bar here, I'm going to expand the temporary hide isolate, like so. And you'll see there that I can't hide the category. It's already hidden. So I don't need to worry about that. I've already done it in the view. But what I could do is I could have clicked down there on the view control bar if I wanted to. Once we've got that in place, we need to go to the Analyze tab on the ribbon, and we need to go to Boundary Conditions. That's what we're setting. So we go Boundary Conditions there on the icon. Now what this does, can you see it's given me this funny little symbol next to the pointer. So what I've got to set is the appropriate boundary condition. So if I go over here, I want a line boundary condition, like so. I can then select the line I want to place that on. So if I click there, it places the actual line condition on the actual wall itself, like so. Now what I've got to make sure of is in the options bar, the state is fixed, which it was, that's fine, so that's all in place. But I've just got to be careful what type of actual load I'm putting on there. So what I can do is I can actually hit escape a couple of times and just cancel that out. I'll undo that and take it back a step. Just be aware that you check all of the settings. So I'll go to boundary conditions again, and I want a line boundary condition. So the state will be fixed, not pinned or user defined, but also just check here in the properties that all your settings are what they want to be. So in this case, I'm orientating it to the host work plane, which is fine, and it's going to be fixed. So now I can go and select that line, the analytical wall, and it places them there for me like that. So they're all in place, like so. And what I can do there is I can select the orange analytical wall foundations that define the center of the footings and continue around the entire perimeter of the building doing that. So I could go here, pick that line there, it places them there as well. Can you see that? And I work my way around. Now I'm not going to do all of that because obviously if I do that, it'll take forever and you don't really want to watch me doing that. So I'm just going to hit escape there just to make sure that those ones are placed. Now, if I just do a quick zoom extents and double click on the wheel, I'm placing them down in this corner of the building here on the foundation wall. So what I need to do is go to the 3D analytical view now and set the visual style to shaded and rotate the view to display the bottom of the building. So let's do that now. So we go down here in the project browser into the analytical view and the 3D views. Now you'll notice that's still in the view that we had from the previous video, so I'll just double click on the wheel there to zoom extents. And I'm down here in this corner here, so let's zoom in, and there's my loads right there. You can see them there on the actual analytical wall there. So what I've got to do is set the visual style to shaded here. So I set that to shaded, like so. And you can see there that I need to rotate the view now to display the bottom of the building. So if I just do a shift and hold down the wheel on the mouse and bring that up and around, like so. Now this might take a little bit of time and it might look a little bit grainy. It depends on how powerful your graphics card is. So if I just pan up a bit now, like so, and then I do another orbit, and I've got to take my time here and bring it all the way up. There we go, like that. And then I release like that. And you can just see the loadings. Can you see them? Inside the building themselves. Now again, you've got to be careful how you move all of this around. So you want to be able to see everything like that. Now, don't forget, you can select these walls and these footings and things and actually hide those and isolate them, remember? So that's what we need to do now. So we need to place the boundary conditions again. So we go to boundary conditions, like so. We want a line condition. And what we're going to do is set the state to fixed again, here. And click on one of the isolated footings on which the piers are bearing down. So that's one of these here. So if I click there like that, it's not actually doing anything. And that's because I need to change the view itself. So I'll just hit escape a couple of times And we need to show the analytical model here, but we're not seeing it. So we need to isolate some of these. There's a structural foundation there, for example. So if I click on that, and then what I do is I isolate that by doing the hide in view and the category. Now you can see what's going on. So there's the loadings there. And now I can see the analytical line as well. So there's a wall in the way as well. So if I click on that, right click, hide in view, category, now I'm beginning to see what I need to see. There's my analytical wall. So what I can do now is add some more loadings to that there. So boundary conditions again, I'll put a line in there again like that, make sure it's fixed, like so, click on that line there, and it will place it in there for me like so. And then what I've got is a loading, and I can work my way around doing it that way as well. Now you need to check obviously work planes and so on. Now you'll notice here I've got host work plane or project. So if I line that in project wise, can you see how it lines in the other way around? I've got loadings now going along the base of the wall and also pushing into the wall. I'll just hit escape there to make sure I don't place any more loads. But you can see there that those boundary conditions are highlighted. So these ones here, I don't actually need anymore. I can actually delete those and I can actually remove them. So if I click there and delete, they're gone. And if I just do an orbit now, you can see they're in the right place. Can you see they're holding the wall up rather than pointing in from the side? So what you need to do here is go in to your dependent views and make sure that you can check where those boundary conditions go in your Revit structure project.